It's your girl Tiffany, Madam Malicious Black Beauty, your Poetic Psychic Pisces HighPriestess, aka the light that shines like a diamond, also known as your modern day nun, one whom isn't within a coven, a convent, or a covenant. I do thank you all for listening and for watching. This is going to be another one of my story times with yours truly, which is myself, Tiffany. Tonight's story time is entitled The Nefarious Naughty Nature Notions of the Vatican and the Nuns That Can't Say Nothing. I know that's a long title. I may change it up. Guys, this story time is actually going to be a book review, okay? This book that I've written is actually very long, so I'm going to do a book review with you all. We're going to go through the introduction of the book, and then I'm going to go through a few chapters of the book. Okay, guys? So I thank you all for listening and for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you be so kind to. But other than that, sit back, relax, and enjoy today's book review story time. Also, I would like at this time to give my brief disclaimer, as I do always. Well, for one, guys, at the end of the my book review story time, I always show you all that this is original work that has been created by myself, and I show you all the proof of that, of showing you that this is my own work. Also, I would also like to include in my in this description of this book review that this it's not about any particular person, places, or things. It is, but it isn't, okay, with this, okay? The way I write, it is actually a real thing. It's actually of a particular genre. It could be called many different things, okay? It could be called truth fiction, fact fiction, something like that, where it's basically where an author writes about true things that actually have happened, can happen, or is possible to happen, things like that, real things. But it may be maybe fictional scenarios in how the author displays that it happened, or the characters that the author create, and different things like that, or what have you, okay? So people's mind like to wonder, and they like to speculate in this, that, and the other. I will say that I actually started writing this before this situation happened, but when it happened, it was like, oh my gosh, okay? It was really good that I was writing this when the situation happened. There was a situation that happened not too long ago where some nuns came out as a group, and they spake out publicly pertaining to some things that they were dealing with the clergy, with some priests and different things, and they speak of this person being very evil, is how they told it, okay? You could actually probably Google this and look it up. I believe, but I'm not real sure if they proceeded to go about things, take some type of legal action against how they were treated, but they ended up coming out and talking about how they were being mistreated or abused in different ways, and how the clergy or the priest that they were dealing with was pure evil, is how they explained it, okay? And I almost felt vindicated almost for writing this. I was very skeptical about writing this. Like, I was very passionate about writing this, but skeptical at the same time about it, considering the fact what I'm going to be talking about, and all the different things that it ties into, guys, okay? So this is going to be a juicy, sinister, suspenseful one, okay? Let's just say that, okay? But a lot of truth in this, but worded in my way, basically, okay? So I just wanted to give that disclaimer as well, okay, guys? Introduction. For far too long, a veil has covered the eyes of the masses, blinding them to the realization of what lies beneath the surface within a sacred community, or the evil that has been hidden in plain sight. A deep, dark, demonic secret down under, whereas only selected, initiated, chosen few may enter its sinister complex of holy seduction. Chapter 1. The Mission. Discreetly living for God by day and lusting for Lucifer by night, yet what was once hidden by demonic darkness has been illuminated by divine light. The graciously submissive loyalty of sanctified nuns linger in the distant silent, mourning, shielded by their heavenly cloths and hiding the dwindling pain beneath their undergarments, as they are deathly sworn to secrecy now and forevermore. If only the brainwashed, blind people knew of the horrific torture and trauma endured by the faithful, then surely there would possibly be a glimmer of hope for those suffering in silence. Whispered prayers for mercy seemingly fall upon the deliberate deaf ears of the Almighty as the forsaken sinner's soul can no longer be redeemed. An endless dwelling in solace with the fallen is sad, yet unfortunately the fate of so many, as they eerily shaken stare in their broken mirror at the demons who have possessed them all. No longer balanced within self, but one with their perverse demigod who serves no righteous purpose other than to kill, steal, and destroy what the Creator made pure, honest, and true. Oh, but when will the endless torment cease from this God-forsaken place, yielding a glimmer of grace to this unholy tabernacle the unjustly recruited are held hostage in? Chapter 2. Sister's Sacred Sacrifice. Delicately dedicated and married to God is a nun's proclaimed yet fabricated ordained mission that false, faithless, furious fathers fumble their fallacious, frivolous fingers through. Thus frowns fall upon the faithful servant's face, as no mercy is given even by Mother Superior, who demands orderly fellatio daily. Sex slaves to the elected elite, who parade around as the masked divine. A gross invasion of blasphemy by bishops through forcibly facilitated sodomy is the reality in the humble, meek life of a precious nun. Although unfortunate, such devastating, dreadful regulations are but few of required daily tasks. The torturous, excruciating labor is unbearable in more ways than one. Surely chores are expected as many are demanded of the sisters as yet another of their ordained duties. Otherwise, the consequence is deadly fierce if not obeyed. From cooking, cleaning, scrubbing the walls and floors on their bare hands and knees, sewing, teaching, laundry, gardening, as well as many other deeds. But few are aware of the unspoken secret sacrificial labor many nuns have endured for many, many years. A labor which is strictly forbidden from leaving the convent's sacred holy walls of sin. The labor of childbirth, that is, a beautiful, filthy little secret that only those in the know are privileged to. One of many reasons the Catholic Church has overseen so many orphanages in the past time. Needless to say, many of the poor children who were conceived in God's name, lives are shortened lived or are destined for ruin from the very beginning. A great number of the bastard little ones are used in ritualistic blood sacrifices on altars in the dungeon basement under the church. These are offerings made unto Lucifer and demons conjured up, the god who is widely worshipped worldwide in secret. Others are sold for a very steep price to eager, sinister, interested parties for their own ungodly pleasures, and there leaves the lucky few seen as a pure light of innocence. Those of a particular rare bloodline who are kept in the convent, where they are raised, groomed, and superbly yet strictly trained by the superior to later become inbound slave nuns themselves. Chapter 3, Order of Operations. To say the punishment for a Savior is severe is putting it mildly. Ye must be armored with strong will to endure the cruel, unusual lashes the only begotten Son once did. Submission is a must and non-negotiable within the coven of illuminated initiated witches. Whispered silent prayers of mercy to Mary linger in between the lynchings as dim flickering candlelight surrounds a circle of chanting sisters conjuring the demonic presence of beastly otherworldly beings. The chosen victims for slaying for the evening are placed upon a cross, suspended mid-air, bound by bandages. Arms stretched aside, legs spread wide, and butt naked, for the exception of the veil which covers the nun's head. 33 continuous lashes to the bare skin of the body, and 6 puncture wounds by God-forsaken tools used to mutilate the slayed sister's genitals and anus. Meanwhile, a steady stream of fresh blood and bowels flows rapidly down the nude flesh of the nun as it is instantly collected in a brass and gold-plated bowl. At which time, the blood bowl is given to the selected clergyman in attendance to ejaculate into. The bowl is then passed around the circle of participants in the satanic ritual, which is drunk in its entirety. The terrorized, tortured souls of the weeping sister nuns are then lured onto an altar where a sexual ritual is performed by all the highest ranking members of the clergy, as the remaining onlookers of the ceremony chant in the distance. Only once satisfied with such satanic sacrificial submissions can and will the father priest call adjourn to the meeting. As if these monthly practices aren't enough, every Sabbath satanic rituals are conducted with the most innocent of them all. The lost children of Nazareth, they are called. Horrendous, heinous, gruesome attacks fall upon the young as they are devoured by the elite in any and every way possible, even the most unimaginable. Then the lifeless children are drained of their blood at the peak of their torture, which is drank with wine as they are consumed in their entirety thereafter. The powers that be, most favorite, savory Last Supper. Chapter 4, Living a Lie in Plain Sight. Often seen as the designated hope of the world by Christians, hanging off of nothing more than blind faith and a prayer, Needless to say, the mind-controlled masses are gravely mistaken, as they are yet aware that they have been forsaken by their supposed leaders of the nation, blatantly lied to by masterful-minded, sick, slick, smooth-talking false prophets who have led them astray, ignorant to the fact that such ordained persons have sold their soul to the devil and the establishment for fame and fortune, while ushering their congregations to the slaughter. Saturated in such satanic, masonic, and demonic dangers of the world today, the few faithful who truly believe in a saving grace are left with no other choice than to play holy Russian roulette with their life daily, as the New World Order Antichrist fool those who lack of knowledge, and yes, even some of the very elect willing to take lying leaps of faith for a deep fake in these last days will surely perish. Call it persuasion by a manufactured holographic lie, if you will, or perhaps very soon the unveiling of a beautiful beastly figure who is a lover of men, yet the elite falsified second coming of Christ is bound to be the wonder of the world that will abruptly cast every human soul to hell, no doubt. The planet, as well as humanity, is damned, and the wickedness in high places are complicit in Mother Earth's complete and utter destruction for its own ill will. Chapter 5. Evil Live. Recreating wickedness in the illuminated one's image is an evil, evolving practice of the elite, a secret mission that is already currently in operation. Little do the masses know the rapidly ever-growing list of missing persons in America is a purposeful planned plot to experiment on many of such victims. While most are tortured and brutalized in awfully fatal, dangerous ways, as they are occupied for ritualistic purpose, organ harvesting, cannibalism, torture games, and the sex trade, others are carefully sought after candidates with particular DNA strands who are used as test subjects for various different reasons, one of which is crossbreeding for the creation of hybrid specimens. These unfortunate souls are housed underground in a very discreet, secluded location that is run, ruled, and controlled by the United States government. This militarized secret site is more secure than Area 51 itself. Furthermore, human superbreeders are impregnated with a variation of different cells from animals, reptilians, and other alienized species. The hybrid subjects are homegrown, bred, and fed, as they are then brained, trained, and used as spies, walking sleepers, super soldiers, assassins, government officials, and other leadership positions. Meanwhile, the search for the Antichrist to usher in the New World Order is still underway. Shape-shifting elite persons, beyond what is considered power, have the ever-eager urge and desire to create a uniquely manufactured being by mating one of God's chosen ones, Earth Angel, who is a direct descendant of thy Lord, with the Nephilim or Lucifer's offspring bloodline, which would be something to the likes of which planet Earth has never seen before. Most couldn't fathom, let alone imagine, the little shop of horrors that is deep down under, right beneath their feet. Sheeple seeing with the naked eye wide open, yet still fast asleep, while hanging on every word the representatives placed before them speak. Though ironically, awkward, and without notice, the dauntingly traitor's sinister pursuit to destroy humanity. Chapter 6. Silent Screams Beneath the Sanctuary. While sentient, shaken nuns weep to Mary during worship service, and guests in attendance drown themselves in the sermon of the day on the Sabbath, the tiny yet distant screams from under the church go unheard as the cries for help are silent to the untrained ear that isn't aware that such an urgency is near. Many have no knowledge of the $1 million mission of the Vatican, as its busiest operation is often actually during the most highest volume moments. During such a time, Vatican tunnels are put to great use for human and drug trafficking, a function which brings great wealth and stability to the nation's church. The perfect cover for such illegal activities as no red flags are risen with the protection of politicians and the wealthy. Although much of these matters are kept perfectly hidden, there is the occasional unruly complaint that reaches the public's attention. However, it is quickly hushed up and swept under the nearest rug immediately, as if there was any wonder. These occurrences are often made by sexually abused children who were fondled by members of the clergy, and of course, the disgruntled rogue nun who escaped the convent. Nuns of such caliber are actually more like temporary nuns who were ordered to the convent due to disciplinary actions, safety concerns, or other more severe circumstances. Nevertheless, those who fall through the cracks of the system and tightly knit rules and regulations of the convent are often the very ones who would have such a nerve to rebel in such a way. A few times, some of the really rebellious temp nuns have been able to convince others and escape, with one of the homebred nuns actually getting them to safety and rewarding them with the freedom they never knew. In a turn of events, to keep from a big scandal, the Vatican has settled such matters out of court with hefty financial compensation to the victims, with the understanding of strict non-disclosure agreements implemented for all parties. So, to the public, it seems as if any previous statements made about any wrongdoing were lies, and soon thereafter, the situation is forgotten altogether. And that's how the wicked in high places get away with the most awful things anyone could imagine. Although the elite don't take licks lightly, many who have spoken out have later been targeted by their government, which makes their life a living hell, literally, and others have been forced to suicide or mysteriously been found dead. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to tonight's book review. As I said, that was the first 6 chapters of this book. There's like so much more details and the story. Okay, which I haven't really decided when it's going to be released, but sometime at a later date. Okay. I know a lot of this was probably like hard to hear, very graphic. A lot of things that I talked about is very factual, very true. Things that actually happen and actually takes place in real life. Okay, but like I said, my story isn't about any particular persons. We'll just say that. Okay, guys? So please like, share, and subscribe. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. For those of you who would like to contact me, you can do so at tiff.diamond.36@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram, which is shine bright like a diamond 36 with an underscore between each word. For any persons who would like to donate to the channel, it is greatly, greatly appreciated. I do thank you in advance. You can do so through Cash App, which is $tiff.diamond36, or through PayPal, which is paypal.me/@36diamond. As always, guys, y'all take care of yourself, take care of each other, but most of all, take care of your babies, honey. Remember, this is a wicked, wicked world that we live in. There's wickedness in high places, and there's evil that is lurking around each and every corner, even in a neighborhood near you. So y'all watch your surroundings. Watch the company you keep, watch surroundings in the company and what your children are in as well. And consider the fact that you never know when someone may betray you, backstab you, try to hurt you, or harm you, honey. Keep you some protection on you. Y'all stay awake, stay aware, stay vigilant, and stay prepared. Because if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready, baby. Until the next time, peace, love, and light. Namaste. I am that I am, created in the image of God.